So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ninja Habits weekly huddle where we will be, while I'm talking, you guys are welcome to do your Ninja daily habits. You should have those down by now, and you can still use this time to do that. But what I'm going to do this morning is this is our first kickoff for this quarter. We are going to be focusing on those weekly habits. We're going to be doing one a week, and we will meet on Monday, and then we will meet on Friday, same time, 7:30 to 8. Our goal with this is that we go a little deeper into being intentional with the weekly habits. The daily habits prepares our mindset. It gets us started for the day. It helps us to stay in flow with people, and it takes care of those immediate, warm and hot list. But the weekly habits is what we need to perfect in order to have a long-lasting, consistent business. If we aren't doing those things, we will start to see a drop in our business, a drop in our performance in our pipeline. So it's so important that we don't gloss over these. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first one this week. And we are calling this the Ninja Moves of the Week. So this is week 1. And I'm kind of doing these in a different order than what Ninja has them listed as, because looking at it, a lot of the things are going to be harder to do if your database is not where it needs to be. So, during our weekly meetings or daily meetings, we talked one day a week about each of the weekly habits. So you guys know part of being a ninja is updating your database every week, adding people, doing those things. But we're going to take it a little bit deeper this week. We're going to clean it. We're going to update it. We're going to love it. We're going to be excited. And the focus in your extra time, even if you have to put some of the other weekly things on hold, I think it'll be okay for this first month as you're getting acclimated. But we're going to focus on updating our database. Your database is your gold mine. If you had a gold mine in your backyard, how much time would you spend going out and searching it? Think about that. If you knew you could walk right outside your back door and with a little diligence find some gold, just in the chat, how many of you guys would be out there first thing in the morning or as soon as you could to see what you could find for the day? Rachel said all day. Yes, we would, but we don't look at our database that way. And why don't we? I think that it's so easy for us to talk ourselves out of things because our database isn't an inanimate object like gold. Our database is people. And so because of gold doesn't reject you, gold doesn't have an opinion, right? So it's a little easier. So that analogy isn't totally fair. But if you could get rid of the preconceptions of what people may think or what they may say and all these things, and you look at the gold of people as I'm going out to with the right motive, with a different mindset, right? You're not going to dig for gold necessarily in your database by pulling out, transactions. You're going into the gold mine of your database to connect with people. And I think if you change your mindset a little bit around that, it will change how you look at your database. Instead of looking at it as just another person on the list or another quote lead, you'll look at it as another household, another person, another person that's just like you, that has things going on in their life and they're trying to overcome them, right? Or maybe they have goals they're trying to reach and they're trying to get there. Or maybe they're trying to connect their current, situation to their future goals. So that's my first challenge for you guys, is changing the mindset around your database. It is your gold mine. So I really want you guys to take this completely seriously this week and understand that when you are doing these small acts of cleaning things up and what it seems like kind of tedious and administrative, which a lot of us are not, that you are servicing those people, right? So your database is your referral engine. Your database is where right now, if you're lacking in your pipeline, it matters for you to get in your database because your next deal, your next, the next transaction that comes to you could come from your database. And most likely it will. When you do what we're telling you to do this week, I'm looking forward to hearing some reconnections that happen there. The other thing too is as you go through your database, you're going to get more clear on who you're servicing and what kind of things you need to add to them to give value. And that gives you clarity. So instead of sitting around thinking, what can I do? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how to serve these people. I'm not sure what's important to them. As you just take time to look through, you're going to start remembering conversations. You're going to start remembering, oh yeah, they're going to be empty nesters next year. They might have some questions about that. And as you do that, when you update your notes or you take some notes yourself, now you have some clarity in what you can do to serve those people. Because you can't serve people you don't see. Okay, so if you're not looking through your database on a regular basis, you're not just scrolling through, and I don't know how many, why don't we ask this? How many people do you guys currently have in your database that you would consider, I'm not talking about like cold leads, I'm talking about people that know you and that, if you picked up the phone and called them, they'd say, hi Brent, or hey Martha, how you doing? Those people. How many would you say you realistically have? If you send out Christmas cards, think about how many Christmas cards you send a year. Okay, put that in the chat. And then as you guys are putting that in the chat, a messy database leads to missed opportunities. I was listening to, I get on a Huddle call after this usually, and that Huddle call, one of the gentlemen was talking about a new system they implemented, and it helped to show them missed opportunities. Now, they're a huge team, and they do massive amounts of transactions a year, and they're not really a ninja team. You know what I mean? They're more like cold leads. But they found out that there were 400 missed opportunities in their database. The same database that most of their team members, that most of their team members don't want to get into every day. 400 missed opportunities. Even if they captured 50% of those, that was 200 missed opportunities for their large team. And so my thought to you is, if your database is a mess, you're flying blind. If your database is not taken care of, that's like the simple things you got to do on your car, right? Like check your oil, check your tires. Like that's what you got to do. It's the lifeline. It's what keeps you alive when you're out doing the thing. So let's see here. Shannon about 55, Nancy about 127, Brent around 60, Rachel around 50. Perfect. I love this. Love this. There's no such thing as too little or too many. And if you don't have one yet, that's okay too. Think about who you would send a Christmas card to. Think about the people you say happy birthday to on Facebook. Those are all people that can be added to your database. And we're going to give you some actionable things that you can do this week to increase that. And I didn't put this in the slide deck, but I feel like it's worth mentioning, and I'll have to find the formula and get it to you guys. But if you've been through a Ninja installation, there's a really cool point where they tell you to write down who's in your database, and then they have a figure that they can use to determine what that value is. So kind of like the gold mine in your backyard, if you knew every time you found an ounce of gold, it was going to equal X, then you could easily figure out how many ounces of gold you needed a week, right? You could say, well, I need to find 10 ounces of gold for this week, right? Well, you can do the same thing with your database. I only know the formula for our market because I did it and then I forgot the formula once I figured it out. But the way that it works out in our market, it's based on the current average sales price of people in your database. And then I forget how you figure it out from there, but I will get it to you guys. But in our market, it's about $1,300 per household in your database. So let's use one of these numbers. So 60. So if you had 60 people and you were a ninja and you were doing your ninja activities that we teach in our market, 60 people, 1,300 would be $78,000 in gross commissions a year. And that would be take home, right? So, or well, I guess it would be gross commissions, but not with your split. So when you look at that, it makes it a little bit more digestible, because if that number is and if that number is greater, like if you're like, gosh, it's a lot more, it might be different in your area, right? You might have a higher cost per household, but here in Columbus, Ohio, that's where we are right now. So it's very simple to find out how to up your income, because all you got to do is up the number of people you're in flow with as a ninja. So just like we talked about the gold in your backyard, and if you had a gold mine in your backyard and you went out and you said, I need 10 ounces. Well, if you're like, Alicia, my goal is $150,000 a year. I only have 60 people. I need to get to 150. Well, that means you need to get up to about 120 people if you were in Columbus, Ohio. So then you can take that 120 minus the 60 you have would leave you with 60. So you're adding what? Approximately 5 people a month to your database. And over time of you adding them and nurturing them, that would turn into your goal. So hopefully that gives you guys some hope, right? Even if you're just starting out at 10, it's no big deal. Thank you guys who shared those numbers for sharing that. So we're going to talk about what action you're taking this week. I love action. I don't know about you guys, but how many of you guys like taking action? If you want to just say yes or absolutely or something in the chat. How many of you guys, I mean, I like hearing about things and learning things, but what does it really mean if I don't implement it? Right? And implementing is also what some people would say is the hardest part, but we're going to break it down, make it easy, make it fun. We're going to gamify this week. That's actually where you fail. Yes, Shannon, a lot of us do. And it's not because there's anything wrong with us. It's just sometimes we just get stuck, we can get stuck. So we're going to, hopefully the strategies that I'm putting in place will help motivate you to take a little bit more action. Okay. So our only goals, these are the only goals this week. I want you to take out of your mind your overachieving attitude if you're an overachiever. And I want you to simply look at what I'm proposing and do them in the order that I'm proposing them. And we're breaking this down into daily things, and I'll show you how we're going to track it and what we're going to do. Okay. So first and foremost, we're just going to add 3 to 5 new contacts to our database this week. Just 3 to 5. That's it. We aren't trying to go, back to the gold mine analogy. We're not going in there and trying to collect all the gold in one day. We're just going to break this down into actionable steps. So how are we going to add that? So think about this. People you met recently that you maybe didn't put in, those cards that people gave you at the last networking event that you forgot to put in your database? We're going to add those. We're going to put them in. What about some past leads? Maybe you got a referral and you've already talked to them and you've already had great conversation, but they were a little bit further out and you forgot to add them. Go back in your notes, anywhere you keep notes, whether it's your phone or your planner or a notebook or whatever. Find some people. What about some vendors you've recently started working with? What about that new lender that represented the buyer on the listing side and you were really impressed with them and you said, gosh, they're really great. I would like to connect with them. What about your vendors you use every day? Are they in your CRM? Are you writing them note cards? Of course, friends of friends, right? What about the friends that you met when you were out with other friends? That just reminded me of somebody. I went out to celebrate birthdays with some friends, and I don't think 2 of the people are in my database. I've already got 2 right there I can add. And what I want you to do is you're just going to write these people down. Okay, guys, we're not doing anything with them yet. We're just writing it down. You're just thinking. Okay. Past clients. Are there past clients that you accidentally forgot to follow up with, to put in your database? I don't care how long ago it was. And then think about life change events. People that just had a baby. Maybe they lost a loved one, right? Maybe you've noticed on Facebook, they've talked about, I would love to live in Florida. I need a house. I need the beach, right? Well, guess what? I think we have a person in Florida on this call who would love to get some referrals from you. So think about that. And I just want you, and if you're doing this right now, just write 3 to 5 names down. That's it. And you'll already be done with today's assignment. Honestly, if you just do that, you're already going to be winning the day. Okay. Step 2 is we're going to fill in missing info. Now, I'm sure that some of those people you wrote down, you don't have their information. You may not have their email, but you might. You might have an email. You would be surprised the email chains that you've been on with those people's emails in there. Find that missing info. Okay. This is going to look like, here's some other things you can fill into. It's going to look like this: birthday, what's their pets, their favorite coffee, their kids' names, anniversary, home anniversaries, etc. One thing that we are implementing this week is a Google form, really simple, that asks our clients questions that I'm going to start sending out after we sign a client. So once we get a listing appointment and we sign listing papers, and once we get their buyer documents, I'm going to send them a link to their text and to their email to ask them questions like these so that we can add it to the database. Now, I want you to start with the basics first. If you just need a phone number and an address and an email, that is sufficient. If you need to reach out to them to get it, I'm assuming these are people you know, and my go-to is always texting them and saying, hey, if it's recent. So like the friends I just was with, hey, I had a great time hanging out with you this past week. I hope you had a great birthday. I enjoyed celebrating it with you. I recognize that I don't have your contact information. Do you mind sending me your address, and your email? I'd love to send you something, right? That's it. If it's somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, you might have to go a little stealth mode. You can find their address through, if it's a past client, obviously you can look it up, but you can look on your auditor site to find addresses. You can just reach out to them and ask them, just like I did. I don't recommend those services that you can send that do like the address updates. I know some people have used that on me. I don't mind it. But usually the people that do that for me are people that already are in flow with me. They're not just like trying to start a relationship. They already have one. So if you already have a relationship and you're filling in information, obviously sending the Google form or one of those address update type app contacts is great. But if this is somebody you haven't, then, then just make it a priority to get that information. Guys, we're talking 3 to 5. This is going to be something that is not going to be too difficult for you to do. Okay. Next, you're going to segment your contacts. Now, this is probably the most tedious ones. Shalonda, Alicia, I've thought about doing this, but wasn't sure of the verbiage to use for new clients. Hey, I like to get to know my clients better. Can you complete this form? Absolutely. I am a big ChatGPT person too, Shalonda. So I don't know if you use ChatGPT, but I will throw that in here in the ChatGPT, and I will give you guys 10 ideas and send it to you based on reconnecting with somebody, and I'll send it in the recap. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. ChatGPT is only as good as what you feed it. So if you haven't, mine is ninja. Like, it knows me, it knows ninja. Everything is circled around ninja and how we operate and our core values. Like, it is really honed in. But, so I could spit something in there and it sounds just like me. But if you aren't happy with what you're getting out of ChatGPT, that's probably why. You need to work on your persona in ChatGPT, which isn't hard to do, but just letting you guys know, if you're like, why does yours come out that way and mine doesn't? That's the only reason. So we're going to segment those contacts. This is pretty simple to do. And I mean, most of you guys have a manageable amount of people that I think you could complete this easily in a day. But you're going to tag or sort them into ABC tiers. So your A's are going to be those top people. These are people that refer people to you. I would call them like your VIPs, like they're always like, okay, I posted this post about, and it was very engaging. And it was about, hey, what job would you imagine I did if just by knowing me? Guys, one of our past clients who I didn't even work with Mark worked with them more. Mark, I don't know if you saw Scott's reply. You need to go and look at it. He wrote the most awesome post on my a reply. He commented, and he's an A. Like, somebody who looks at me that way, even if they've never referred anyone to me, it made me want to talk to him more. It made me want to be closer to his sphere, because I thought, if this is how he views me, oh my gosh, he would be a walking billboard. It actually was one of the sweetest compliments I've gotten in a long time from a client. So think about that. It's not always about, did you get business from them? It's about, does this person believe in me? Are they the people that comment on all my things? Are they the ones, when I post a just listed or just sold, they're the ones that are always like, great job, or they love it? Those are the people you want to move up the list, okay? And those are the people you might want to add to your database. Hello, they want to support you. They wouldn't be commenting if they didn't believe in you, right? So very simple, tag A, B, C. I would say B's are, so I would say your A's, B's, and C's. These are people I stay in flow with, but A and B might be people that I would actually go out to lunch, to coffee on a regular basis, because I really want to stay in flow with them. And of course, your hot and warm people should be up in the A, B area as well. Next, we're going to clean up the clutter. This is probably my least favorite thing out of all of them, but it's okay. It's doable. But this is where you merge your duplicates, delete junk, archive old records. You know, sadly, we've had a few clients that have lost a loved one, a spouse, and there's nothing worse than getting something in the mail that has their name still on it. I mean, I think in the beginning it's okay, because they understand. But if it goes on too long, it starts to get a little, it starts to kind of jab at them, right? So it's important that we update those databases. It's important. I was going through one of our databases, because we have a main database, but then we have different systems where we send things out to people. And I was cleaning up one of the systems and yes, divorces. Oh my gosh, that too. Those you need to do quick, right, Shannon? But I noticed a couple people's addresses didn't get updated from their previous address when they moved. So just things like that, just glancing through, is everything look good? And some of you, this may not take long. Others, it depends how your database is formatted. If it's in an Excel spreadsheet, it's pretty simple. You just can sort your spreadsheet. If it's in a CRM system, it's pretty simple. You can sort your ABCs, or we call them nurture, hot, and warm, but you can sort them too. And if you can add tags in your database, you can also tag ABC. I meant to mention that on the last one. But we're going to just clean it up, make sure everything's accurate, fill in again as much as we can. And then last, we're going to reconnect with the forgotten I should have taken that A out. Darn. I was doing so good on the grammar. But we can reconnect with the forgotten. Who's the forgotten? These are people you haven't talked to in 6+ months. And I don't mean like, you, even if you text them, I don't know if I would count that. I think I would, depending on if they text you back. Yeah, a D segment, do not work with again. Yes, Shannon, that's a good one too. D for done. But you're going to reach out to someone you haven't talked to in 6+ months. And some of you might have somebody that already comes to mind. I know I do. So we're just going to give them a quick phone call. I don't care if they answer or not, but we're just going to reconnect with them in some way, check on them, see how they're doing. All right, so here's our micro goals. We're just basically adding, the ones I just went over are just your daily tasks. So Monday, you're going to list 5 people and to add and 3 to reconnect. Okay. And then Tuesday, we're going to add them with the basic information that we have. Wednesday, we're going to fill in any extra personal info. Thursday, we're going to clean and organize our database. And then Friday, we're going to reach out to any forgotten, contacts. So progress equals daily effort. Okay. And what we're going to do, the challenge is called the contact comeback. That's what you guys are doing. You're coming back. You're going to start contacting people. This is kind of an extra. Okay. This is find someone who was ghosted that ghosted you or was forgotten. Now, if you're not brave enough to go find the ghosted people, I understand. But you're going to reconnect, but we're going to do it with no agenda. And then I want you to share in the Telegram group how it went. Was it awkward? Was it awesome? Right? The comeback is stronger than the silence. So it's more important that they hear your voice than the silence that they're currently experiencing, right? They don't even know they need to hear from you, but they do. They do. And for those of you who aren't on the Telegram app yet, add Telegram as an app on your phone and let me know once you've added it. And then I think I can just add you to the group from there. We'll see how that goes. So here's the weekly scorecard I created. It's nothing super fancy, but it's just a way to earn some points. I love rewarding agents. I love, helping you guys have a reward system because I don't feel like agents, we don't reward ourselves enough. And we don't work in a corporate environment where we're constantly having checks and balances and people telling us we're doing a great job. And so this is just a little way of you to have that for your week without hovering over you and telling you what to do because we're all agents and we like our freedom. So here's what we're doing. You're going to earn 5 points for adding the 3 to 5 new contacts because honestly, that's the most important thing is get some people in there. When you complete the challenge, you get 3 points. That's all 5 things. If you share a win in the Telegram group, it's 2. If you encourage someone else, you get 2 points. And then if you logged your CRM scorecard, so if you do the scorecard and you just complete the scorecard, it's another point. So you can get a total of 13 points here. And what you can do is you can just track, you can just let us know, and I'll be asking in the Telegram group where our points are at for the week. And at the end of the week, you'll have to let us know the points before Friday. I guess if you're doing things on Friday, we'll let you take in account your Friday activities. And then what we're going to do on Fridays, we're going to check in and we're going to answer some questions. We're going to reflect. We're going to reflect on how it went. And here's what I want you to know. There's no condemnation in this group. Every win is a win. Okay. So if you don't get through all, that's okay. Because guess what? You didn't do it last month. You didn't do it last quarter. So it's a win. You're already winning, right? But what I'm curious to know is what surprised you about the week? Looking back over the week this week, I want to hear what was like, wow, that's surprising. I want to hear who you reconnected with and also what database habit are you keeping? So out of what you've tried what you're going to try this week, what is it that you were like, I'm keeping that. That was worth doing. I'd love to hear that feedback on Friday. So be prepared to share a little. And remember, done is better than perfect, guys. Progress is greater than perfection. Show up for your database equals showing up for your business. So this is how you're going to show up. And honestly, the 7:30 to 8 time frame, since you're still on that schedule, and if you're like me, you're still waking up at that time, keep that and just add the weekly the daily challenge to your day. Okay, so I am going to just open it up for a second. And you guys share with me, are you ready to go? I have Let's Go Ninjas. Are you ready to commit for this week? I will be posting the challenges in the app.
Yes.
Yes, good to hear it. Yeah, so in the app, once you download Telegram, here, let me put my phone number. I'm going to put my phone number in here in case you guys don't have it. Take my phone number down, text me when you've downloaded the app. Or if you're having problems getting on, then text me. I will help you. Okay. I will help you get on. It's important you get in the Telegram group because just like, who was asking? Nancy, just like Nancy was asking, the Telegram group is the hub because we aren't meeting every day anymore. We're just doing Monday and Friday, for this next quarter. So Telegram is the hub. So every morning and every night, there's going to be some check-in points, things to help remind you. So definitely make sure you're getting your notifications on the app. I will be putting a picture of the time or the scorecard in there for you guys and giving you some tips and tricks every day to keep you engaged, to keep it top of mind. Because I know once we get into the thick of our week, sometimes we forget, and that's okay. So, so yeah, I've got a plan to help keep you engaged. Oh, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun at the end of the week. So next Monday we'll start celebrating the previous week's accomplishments. So, and I don't mean perfection, I mean accomplishments, so progress. So as you guys are posting your points and what you're showing up with, we're gonna have some fun recognition on our call for you guys too. So I hope this encourages you to dig deeper into these weekly habits over this next month and this next quarter. And let's go, guys. So watch your email for a recap of this with some details, and then make it a point to get that Telegram app downloaded so that we can get you in the community. All right, everybody. I hope you're excited. Yeah, good luck to everybody. Looking forward to hearing those reconnections. Everybody have a wonderful week. I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you on Friday. I'm gonna miss you guys. That's why we gotta stay connected in Telegram so that we can still say, you can still go in Telegram every morning and say, I did my daily routine this morning, right? Maybe I should add that to the scorecard too. So we stay on track. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye, guys.